In this lecture, we will learn about the transitional curves. So, what is transition curve? Transition curve is defined as a curve of a parabolic nature which is introduced between a straight and a circular curve or between two branches of a compound curve. Means what? If there is a straight line, this is a straight line and this is a curve. So the transition curve is a curve which is introduced in between a straight and a circular curve. So if we introduce a curve here, this curve will be called as transition curve. It is necessary to provide an easy change from a tangent to the radius selected for a particular curve. So it is very necessary to provide an easy change from a tangent to the radius which is selected for a particular curve. It is essential that the curvature and the superelevation in the outer rail and the curvature is in the inner rail are attained gradually. That is, the curvature and superelevation in the outer rail and the curvature in the inner rail should attain gradually by the use of this transition curve. So we will see. This is the straight line. This is the circular curve. The portion when the train will move from a straight line and directly on the circular curve, it will experience discomfort. The people will experience discomfort. So to eliminate the effect, every time when a straight path is followed by a circular curve, the transition curve is introduced where the superelevation and the radius of this curve will gradually increase. Okay, so transition curve is nothing but the curve which is introduced in between the straight path and the circular curve. So in this figure we can see this. This is the straight path of the track and this is the remaining part which is in the circular curve, in the form of circular curve. When the train will move from the straight path, it will not move directly from straight to the circular curve. It will move gradually. There will be gradual increase in the superelevation and the curvature of the radius. This portion is called as the transition curve. See, this is the length of the straight line, straight path. This is the length of the transition zone. The transition zone starts from the end of the straight line, straight path. That is, this is the transition start. Then there will be gradual increase in the super elevation and the radius of curvature. And then this is the transition end. And this will be the remaining circular path. Okay. See, this is the straight path. This is the starting of the transition curve. This is the end of the transition curve. And this is the circular curve. We will see in this figure. See, this is the track center and this is a circular portion or a turn, circular turn. When the train will try to move from a straight line, straight track towards the curve, there will be a introduction. There is need to introduce the transition curve so that the train will move smoothly without discomfort. So this is the transition curve. The radius of curvature will gradually increase and super elevation will also gradually increase. Okay. So again we will see what is transition curve. It is nothing but a curve which is introduced in between a straight and a circular curve, or in between the two branches of a compound curve. It is necessary to provide an easy change from a tangent to the radius selected for a particular curve. The transition curve should be so that, see, this is a straight line, this is a circular path. If we draw a tangent here, then the curve should be provided, it should be tangent to the straight line too. Okay. Now it is essential that the curvature and superrelation in the outer rail and the curvature in the inner rail are attained gradually. That is, the curvature and the superrelation should increase gradually. Okay. We have seen this figure. I have explained this. Okay. Now we will move towards the objectives of transition curve. So there are two types, primary and the secondary objective. First is to reduce the radius of curve gradually from infinite at the straight to that of the circular curve of the selected radius. See, this is a straight path and this is the circular path. So to decrease the radius of curve gradually from infinity at the straight. At the straight, the radius of curve is infinity and to that of the circular curve of selected radius. So what is the main objective of transition curve? The main objective of transition curve is to decrease the radius of curve which is from infinity at the straight, that is at the straight it is infinity to that of the circular curve of a selected radius. So it will have a selected radius in the circular curve. Second, to attain a gradual rise for the desired superelevation. This is applicable for the outer rail. It helps to attain the gradual rise of the superelevation. The superelevation increases gradually in the spot. So secondary objective is the gradual increase or decrease of the centrifugal force on the vehicle by the use of this curve provides smooth running of the vehicle and comfort to the passengers. So see, here this is the straight path, this is the circular path, and in this path the super elevation and curvature will increase gradually. And here the effect of centrifugal force will be reduced, and due to this the passengers will experience comfortable and smooth running of the train. Okay. So the gradual increase or decrease of the centrifugal force on the vehicle by the use of this curve provides smooth running of vehicle and comfort to the passengers. No sudden application of the centrifugal force, so the chances of derailment are gently reduced. By introduction of the transition curve in between the straight curve and the circular curve, the chances of derailments are reduced. This is the secondary objective of the transition curve. So in short, we will see transition curve is nothing but a curve which is having which is introduced in between the straight path and the circular curve. So this is the length of the transition curve. So now we will see what are the requirements of a transition curve. It should be perfectly tangent to the straight line, to the straight, means it should be tangent to the straight path. Second, the length of the transition curve should be such that the curvature may increase at the same rate as that of the superelevation. Means the length of transition curve should be so that the increase in the curvature and superelevation will be same. The rate of increase in curvature and rate of increase in superelevation will be same. This curve should join the circular arc tangentially, that is, curvature of transition curve should converge with that of the circular curve that we have seen. It should be tangent to the circular curve. See, this is the straight path, this is the circular curve. It should be tangent to this circular curve. See. So now we will move towards the type of transition curves. There are three types of transition curve. First is the spiral curve, second is the cubic parabola, and third one is the Bernoulli-Lamens curve. And first, the spiral curve is the ideal curve which satisfies all the requirements of the transition curve. It is the one which satisfies all the requirements which are required for the transition curve. In this case, the radius of curvature, that is A, is 1/2 of the 1 by length of the curve. The radius of curvature is given by this formula, that is radius of curvature A is equal to 1 divided by length of the curve. And in this type of curve, the rate of change of acceleration is uniform, and this is the ideal one which satisfies all the requirements of transition curve. Then the second one is the cubic parabola. In the cubic parabola type of transition curve, the rate of decrease of the radius of curvature is low, that is from 4 degrees to 9 degrees. And beyond 9 degrees, there is a rapid increase in the radius of curvature. Means the rate of decrease of radius of curvature is low, that is from 4 to 9 degrees. But when it goes beyond 9 degrees, that is rapid increase in the radius of curvature. This is the cubic parabola, and this is the spiral transition curve. And then third one is the Bernoulli-Lamens curve. The radius decreases as the length increases, so that the radial acceleration goes on falling, but the fall is not uniform. In this case, the radius decreases as the length increases. Okay, so these are the three types of transition curves. In exam, they will ask a theory question like explain transition curve and the types of transition curve, or write in brief about transition curves. So, transition curves for railways. In case of railways, a cubic parabola type of transition curve is adopted. For that, equation of cubic parabola is used, that is y is equal to x cube by 6RL, where, or you can write as cx cube, where c is 1 by 6RL, where y is the perpendicular offset of the transition at a distance x from the commencement of the curve, and x is the distance of any point on the tangent from the commencement of the curve. R is the radius of the circular curve, and L will be the total length of the transition curve. Okay. Now we will move towards the length of transition curve. The length of transition curve is the length along the center line of the track from its meeting point with the straight to that of the circular curve. We have seen what is transition curve in the previous part. So we have seen that the length of the transition curve is along the center line from starting of the straight curve to the starting of the circular curve. The distance between the ending of the straight curve and the starting of the circular curve is nothing but the length of transition curve. This length is inserted at the junction half in the straight and half in the curve. Yes, so in Indian Railways, that specifies that greater of the following length should be taken as the length of the transition curve. According to the Indian Railway, these three formulas are used to calculate the length of transition curve, and from these three, whichever value is greater, it is considered as the length of transition curve. So first equation is L is equal to 7.20 E, where E is the actual super elevation in centimeters. Okay. Now second point is L is equal to 0.073 D into Vmax, where D is the Kant deficiency for the maximum speed, which is in centimeters, and Vmax is the maximum speed in kilometers per hour. This is based on the rate of change of Kant deficiency. This length is based on the rate of change of Kant deficiency. And the third formula is L is equal to 0.072 E into Vmax. This equation is based on the rate of change of super elevation. Okay, these are the three basic formulas which are used to calculate the length, and from this three, whichever the length is maximum is considered as the length of transition curve. Okay, then the length of transition curve is obtained by the maximum value of the below values. These three equations are also used. From these three equations, whichever value is greater will be taken as the length of transition curve. Where when super elevation is given, D is given, Vmax is given, these equations can be used. Okay. As per rail code, there are three equations that are used to calculate the length of transition curve, and similar to the previous one, whichever will be maximum from these three equations will be considered as the length of transition curve. So first is L is equal to 4.4 root R, where R is radius of curve in meters. Okay. Now second is at the rate of change of super elevation of 1 in 360, that is 1 centimeter for every 3.6 meters. The rate of change of super elevation. For 1 centimeter it will be 1 centimeter for every 3.6 meter change of super elevation. Then third equation is used. It is based on the rate of change of radial acceleration. And third equation is used is L is equal to 3.28 V square by R. Okay. These three conditions, L is equal to 4.4 root R at the rate of change of super elevation of 1 in 360, and this equation. These three equations are used, these 3 points are used to calculate the transition curve, and from these three, whichever the value is greater is considered as the length of transition curve. So now we will solve a numerical, that is, determine the length of transition curve and draw the offset at every 15 interval given the design speed of the train is 40 kilometers per hour on BJ track. This is the numerical. So from railway board we know the speed formula, that is V is equal to 4.35 root R minus 67. From this we will calculate the radius of curve. We will get the radius of curve is equal to 495 meters. So now we know the radius of curve. So we will consider that we will provide a degree of curve of 3 degrees. So we know the formula that radius is equal to 172 by D, that is degree of curve. So we have considered that provide a 3 degree curve. So R is equal to 172 by 3 is equal to 573, which is greater than 495. So it is okay. So provide a 3 degree curve in this case. Now the second step was to calculate the equilibrium super elevation. So E is equal to G square by 1.27 into R. We know the value of V, we know the value of R, and we know the equilibrium equation for we know the gauge length, that is 1.676. So 1.676 into V, that is 90 kilometers per hour, that is 90 square divided by 1.27 into 573. This will give the equilibrium super elevation. but the maximum permissible count on the BG track is 18.65 and permissible count efficiency is 7.6 centimeters. So this is the equilibrium superelevation. We have to calculate the actual superelevation. So what is actual superelevation? Actual superelevation is equal to maximum permissible current minus the permissible current efficiency. So 18.65 minus 7.6 will give us the actual superelevation. Okay. Now the third step is to calculate the length of the transition curve. So what is the formula? L is equal to 3 formulas are used, and from that 3 values the maximum value is considered as the length of the transition curve. So first value is L is equal to, formula is L is equal to 4.4 root R. So substituting we will get 10.105.32 meters. Then by using second formula we will get the value 89.66 meters. And by using third we will get 39.60 meters. So which one is maximum? L is equal to 105.32 meters. Now we have to calculate draw the offsets at every 15 intervals. So we will use the equation for parabola, that is y is equal to c x raised to q. Also we know that c is equal to 1 by 6 into ri. So we know the radius r. Okay, that is 573. We have used this radius because we have provided a 3-degree curve. So use 573, which is greater. We can provide greater radius of curve but not less than the calculated. So we will use the 573. So we will get the value C. Hence equation of parabola will be y is equal to c into x cube. Okay. So determine the offsets for every 15 intervals, right? So length is 105.32. So offset at 105, consider at 105. So offset at 105 will be 3.21 meters. Substitute these values. Y is equal to 1. Y is equal to c into x cube formula use करून offsets find out करा. So every 15 intervals. So decreasing है ना. Maximum length है ना 105. So 105 will be 105 and the 98 and 75, 60, 45, 30 and 50. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90 and 105 पर्यंत offsets आपल्याला mark करायचे. So we will calculate the offsets by using this formula for every 15 intervals, 50 meters, 30 meters, 35, 60, 75, 90 and 105.